But he's our first paid guest for the podcast.
I mean, in some ways, like, he deserves it.
That's actually a lot of lime juice and sparkling water.
I used to say, is this half up or half full? But I say, well, drink it down and fill it back up. And I don't say that.
Hey, we have that in common. Did you think it was like strategically place the beer in the cooler lower?
Yes. So I did wear low-cut shirts so that I could get better tips. And I would bend over, and the beer was always so far down there that I'd have to really be like reaching.
You caught on to that. Oh,
yeah.
So you did that on purpose.
You know what? I got better tips, though.
And then all of a sudden the cops came. And they put me in the back of the cop car and took me to jail.
Oh, do you think it's because you were trespassing?
Tits and vagina.
Does that offend you, Kelly?
It does not offend me. I think it's a beautiful poem. It kind of sounds like maybe she's passed away.
I try to be my best friend sometimes because just to help. I know it sounds fucking weird, but
no.
I have, live, laugh, and love.
They forgive you. You got to live,
laugh, and love.
Yeah,
cheers to that.
Cheers to that, Karl. Welcome to Mocktails Are Messy. This is Ryan Frankowski and
Kelly Misgorski.
Today we're excited to have Uncle Carl Frankowski. Karl, welcome to the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Karl is your biological uncle, but I've adopted him as an uncle as well.
Kelly, you go way back with Uncle Carl from working at the Bloomfield Bridge Tavern for so many years.
Karl was the doorman at the BBT.
Yeah, the family business.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about like what your favorite beverage is here today. The mint mojito cucumber. It's from Mingle and it's a mocktail. Do you like it?
I mean, a mocktail is a mocktail. It's good.
Yeah, this is the first time Kelly's dabbled into the mocktail.
I think it might be the first time on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe the second time.
This is a virgin one, or you didn't put.
Oh no, I gave you the stiff one.
We have virgins and you have a stiff one.
Today. Stiff one.
Are you talking about a drink or are you talking about other things?
Virgin vaginas all the time, loathing silky orgasms.
Karl, that's inappropriate. Yeah.
I don't mean to be inappropriate. I apologize.
No, you're okay, Karl.
Karl, we like when you're inappropriate. We just want to make sure that Kelly's not feeling uncomfortable.
No, it's not me. I'm never uncomfortable. It's the audience that could be.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable. I'm saying it too, but
we like whenever you're funny. Like,
does it just kind of come out?
She feels freer and younger.
Who's she?
Sexual seduction, sexual arousal, compliments. I'm trying to compliment. That's what I'm.
Okay.
I'm trying to add compliment, but I know not everyone wants to hear it. But I mean,
we love that about you, Karl.
Mary, sweet Mary.
Who's?
You asked who she is.
Who is she? Sweet Mary?
Oh, yeah, 40 feet to the water side. Oh, the body and the soul. We're gonna ski on down the mountain, supernatural balance, or.
Oh, yeah, that is something that we've always remembered him saying was supernatural balance growing up.
Yes, the supernatural balance, yes.
Yeah, where does that come
from? Yes, so what does that mean? Like, where's that derived from?
Well, you were asking me about what...
Where is that derived from? That
the supernatural balance, where is that derived from?
I think it's from Northwestern. It's up in British Columbia.
Okay, because that's one of my favorite things that you say.
I saw a commercial when I was up there, and they had a phone booth on top of this snow-capped mountain. Mm-hmm. They went up there and made a phone call, and they said a supernatural phone call or whatever it was. And I just added balance to it when I was skiing. But
that makes sense. Okay.
I like that. Yeah, so Karl has always been our favorite uncle with the craziest, inappropriate and appropriate. Like, you balanced in some appropriate ones, but we always loved how you were just like kind of a goofball growing up. You always just made us laugh. You were the doorman at the Bloomfield Bridge Tavern. You made sure that you checked everybody's ID. Now, why did you check an 80, 70-year-old person? coming into the Bloomfield Bridge Tavern. You knew that they were over 21, but what was your reasoning behind checking everyone's ID?
Mrs. Reagan came in. Well, of course she's of age, but I like being at the door. I was read you have to card everybody. I don't know if it's a law or it was our house rule. She said, I don't have it. We're talking. We're both. I don't have it. I don't have it. And then I said, well, go ahead. And she was harmless. She was nice about it. So, I mean,
and how
some
old
people
was she?
Took an attitude. I'm not sure.
She was definitely in her like 60s or 70s. Yeah. Did you think that was a little interesting that they carded everybody?
Yeah, I think Steve didn't want anyone in there with expired IDs either. So I remember you did.
Yeah, that was
allow that as well.
That was pretty much a law. They had a machine where I could read the age on it.
Yes. I do remember you said to me that you liked how Kelly worked at the bar and you like would always leave like the beer in the cooler really low. And I think you said it was just because you liked the view. I don't know what that was referring to. Did you think it was like strategically place the beer in the cooler lower?
Yeah. So I did wear low-cut shirts so that I could get better tips. And I would bend over, and the beer was always so far down there that I'd have to really be like reaching.
You caught on to that. Oh.
Yeah.
So you did that on purpose.
You know what? I got better tips though.
When they used to serve, when you used to serve
$50 on like
buttery nipples, butterscotch schnapps and with a little bit of splash of vodka or whatever it was. But
you always found the most inappropriate drinks.
She would go, what do you want? And he meant, buttery nipple. Well, I'm sorry, what was that? Buttery nipple. It was so it was a little humor.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
I know. I definitely remember one time Kelly overserved us after we were bartending. It was you were doormanning, I was bartending, she was bartending, and then after work, me and you decided, hey, she's the designated driver, we can get lit.
And I was practicing how to make some drinks. It was maybe the Washington apple, something like that.
Yes.
And
or a screaming orgasm.
It was probably
it was definitely that's inappropriate.
No, I think it was the screaming orgasm.
You guys are dancing fools too.
We were dancing, yeah.
I'm not a real good dancer,
fools,
but I
were you saying
dancing.
we were bad dancing?
No, you had some moves going on.
I forgot that Carl. Okay, so we would drive Carl home. We would all ride together.
Yeah, Carl.
So Carl would be stuck there watching us go ape shit.
Oh yeah,
he's like in the corner, like, what the hell is going on?
I know. I remember. I was like,
we always had an audience, and I forgot that Carl was our audience.
Yes, he was. I remember. I was like, pulling up, like I was showing my ass and and then like I think you were like doing the same.
Then we had a late night group there. We had a little circle.
We can insert that video.
And those guys were there.
Wait, but Carl, you said that we were good dancing, but I remember the night specifically that she overserved me and you because she decided to be the designated driver, and you were practicing the drinks, the Washington apple, and we were testing everything out, and then I remember you pissed yourself.
No, you know what? It was a Guinness. She poured me a Guinness in the proper way in a pint glass.
Got a good memory.
And she said it didn't make a shamrock on top. It looks more like a broken pierogi.
Yes.
You did say that. Yeah. And it was a Polish tavern. With the best
it
pierogies.
Was ingenious. Guinness. I sat in the Guinness van behind the tavern one day. I should have, could have, and would have drove it across to go skiing, but it had a lazy boy inside it. It had a tap of Guinness.
Yeah,
that would be a cool vehicle to take skiing.
I know. Carl's a really great skier, a really good golfer. I mean, what are you not good at?
I don't know. I guess girls. I haven't had a girlfriend in a long time.
We're going to put you on Tinder.
Yeah.
I think that you would be a hit on Tinder. I mean, who do you think, what kind of girl Carl should be with?
I think someone your age. Are you open to women your age?
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. A girlfriend.
Yeah.
I wanted my grandma to meet Julie, but I wrote some of that poem for her, but.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to read? This was a poem to Julie, your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. And what is Julie?
You know, like, I don't want to offend anyone.
You know what?
Maybe
Go
it's
ahead
like
and read it,
it's
because
like a secret note I could put under a pillow or something. Or...
yeah.
What do you mean that? Like,
You know, we can always edit this, so go
Yeah.
ahead and
Okay.
read it.
She feels freer and younger. Seductive, sensual compliments. Well-proportioned breasts. Juicy, horny, loathing, silky orgasms. Purest vagina. Purest virgin vagina. With holy spirits. Tits and vagina.
I hope that doesn't.
the bush.
Does that offend you, Kelly?
It does not offend me. I think
I
it's a
mean,
beautiful poem. It kind of sounds like maybe she's passed away.
I think...
Did she
like,
pass
I think,
away?
like the Holy Spirits and stuff.
with holy spirits.
I don't know.
Did she pass
Childbirth,
away?
women should have loathing, silky orgasms or screaming orgasms. But I know
During childbirth?
they work hard for themselves. I mean,
Wait,
with
during-
Holy Spirit, you know,
Wait, Carl,
Yeah.
I
good,
love you.
good feeling. A good balanced feeling. you
Yeah.
know.
Doesn't he remind you of Bride? He doesn't like to be interjected.
Yes.
He likes to
well,
talk
he's got to
over.
finish his thought process.
Yes. I remember. You remember Brian, right?
We went to
my
the
friend.
to the water together, waterside.
Well, he said that you sent him a naughty picture of a Playboy magazine.
Oh, do you have your picture?
What did I send him? I sent him Lady Liberty, I think it was.
Oh wow, there's
Everyone has
Lady
$1 million.
Liberty. Oh my God, Carl,
This,
you are just a little naughty little toad.
yeah, this is pretty naughty, but this isn't.
Oh, she's got it stretched out.
My wife, but no, I wrote a poem on it. but I
Oh,
just-
nice. So you definitely like pornography.
Well,
I
it's
still
hu-
can't say
Pornography.
They call me
Porno-
hustles at the door, so I subscribe to Hustler. That's how I got that. And there's a picture. Well, that's Louise. Geez, Louise, but
I think it's just
I missed
too-
my shave today. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it looks good.
Oh.
Kelly said that you look better than ever. You've been.
Yeah, you look great.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
It's all those orgasms I've been having. No.
probably. Yeah.
That's the key, right?
No, but I.
Yeah, you gotta
No,
have multiple loathing
Well,
orgasms.
you said shaved or
That's
bush.
Carl's. That's another
Multiple
one.
loathing
Loathing hair.
orgasms.
Yes,
Loathing hair.
Carl, your two quotes I remember of like growing up with you is supernatural balance, keep your supernatural balance, and then was it have multiple loathing orgasms or just multiple loathing orgasms?
I think it was Kahlua, Bailey's, vodka, and a splash of amaretto. A screaming orgasm or a multiple orgasm. I
Oh,
think.
so it comes from a drink.
Yeah.
Oh. Now it makes sense.
It's an aphrodisiac. It's like, well, another secret is Vishnufka. It's a blackberry flavored brandy from. It's made during the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Polish brandy. It's called Vishnufka.
Can you explain what it like? Why is it that you like to repeat these phrases?
Why? Mm-hmm. Because.
Okay.
I love that. That was the best response. I was like, wait, we're leading up. Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? I love that. And that was actually, you know who that reminded me of? Grandma Nancy. She didn't ever have to give an explanation.
Oh,
She
Louise,
just said
geez, Louise.
because. Like, that's why.
Okay, so let's talk about some of your messy stories from the past. I know that you've spent some time out west. Are you comfortable sharing some of your messiest, funniest stories?
You did tell me when you went out west, you had.
I guess I celebrated New Year's, and it was a super moon. There was a bong there, but I didn't do the bong.
You were not into the marijuana.
They asked me to, but yeah, I think it was marijuana.
So
But
you
I don't know
weren't
what
into
I
it?
didn't ask any questions, but we were all just hanging out, you know. But I wasn't really much of a bong smoker,
Yeah. You
And-
preferred the liquor.
and we shot some Roman candles or whatever, you know, for when it was New Year's. But I was messy was being alone. I felt like I was alone too much, but I'm. You
Were
know,
you just like a lone drinker? Like you just kind of got a little too messy whenever you were by yourself drinking?
one is the loneliest number, I guess. But I learned to say, I try to be my best friend sometimes because just to help. I know it sounds fucking weird, but
no,
I have, I met some cool people that I could hang out with, some ski dogs. And
I was talking about the time, like we were referring to the moment that when you left college at Edinburgh and you went out west because your friends were going to Europe and you were like, hey, I'm going to go out west. You went by yourself.
Yeah.
And then
I left on the 23rd of December.
And
that was Julie and I's anniversary.
That was your ex-girlfriend.
But yeah, my ex-girlfriend or
from
my
college
sweetheart or whatever. And you had to radiate or produce the right temperature in the body when you got to Colorado because I was sleeping in the back of my truck, and you had to really think warm. I had a coffee can with a candle, and that was the only heat I had. And I had a sleeping bag Julie and I went winter camping with one time. It kept me alive, but I don't recommend doing that much winter camping, but I found places to stay, but I was a ski bum. But
at any point did you almost freeze to death?
I went in this place and I was trying to radiate the right temperature, and I asked for a bologna sandwich, and but
what was the place? Was it like a restaurant? It was
in Colorado.
Diner?
It was,
or someone's house?
No, it was a like an eatery, but not an eatery, a convenience store.
Oh, okay.
But it was out in the country, and they were just starting to open it up. But they said there's a family that take this road and this road. They have an extra room you can stay in and ski on the mountain. But
so they were maybe a little concerned that you would be too cold.
But you know what? Like I said, you have to produce and radiate the right temperature in the body. That's what.
Yeah.
Our precise temperature in the body or whatever. But
so do you remember the time that Grandpap came to pick you up when you were out west? And there was an issue, like I believe that you might have got too drunk, and then he had to pick you up at the jail.
That was so long. That was like 30 years ago.
Yeah. And that was when you were done with college, and you had.
Yeah, I'd like to say I never went to jail. Let me see.
Well, I mean,
it was the Abellino County Prison. I went to a pool hall. It was a bowling alley. It had pool table. I was playing pool by myself, and I drank a French kiss or whatever it was called. It was cranberry juice and vodka.
Oh.
Sweet breeze or whatever they call them.
I thought that was
I drank like one or two of those. And it really hit me. But
Do you think you were drugged?
I might have been a Mickey. I don't know, but I didn't feel that bad.
What's a Mickey?
That's like a roofie.
Or a roofie. But I don't know if it was. Well, anyway, I had some running shoes on, and I was finishing my run, and I saw a fence there, and it was bent over. It was like a broken fence, and I heard horses, and I love horses. I was like, let me check these horses out. So I climbed over the fence, and I walked in. It was a stable, and it was like this one horse blew. I was petting his, and then all of a sudden the cops came, and they put me in the back of the cop car and took me to jail.
Oh, do you think it's because you were trespassing?
And I think that's what they. But I didn't see a sign, and the fence was broke, and I didn't. But it's still, that's no excuse. I guess you shouldn't go on someone's property like that. But
well, you might have been Mickey'd or roofied.
Yeah. You know what? It was, and it was. I don't even know what time it was, but it was dark out. But
no, that wasn't the fence to Mexico, right?
So that was. It sounds like this is his recollection.
Unless you crossed the border.
Did you? Well, now
did you cross the border?
I don't know if I crossed the border or not, but
you may have.
I was fence sitting on someone's fence too, but.
Okay.
I didn't. You know what? It might have been telephone. Like the story might have got lost, and now we're getting to the root of it. Because I remember you and Grandpap telling me when Grandpap
was like I saw the stealth flyer and I drank some vodka and went to jail. It sounds like fun in New Mexico, but that's
it was in New Mexico.
It was no fun.
New Mexico.
It was no fun.
Okay,
yeah.
so it was in New Mexico. It wasn't in Mexico. It was not in Mexico. Because I was going to say in Mexico.
We heard a story that you were found in Mexico.
Because Grandpap told me that he had to take a flight, and back in the day, this was 30 years ago, it was like $800 to take a flight to pick you up.
That was back when those machines were legitimate, but...
What machines?
The poker machines.
Oh, yeah, so the poker machine money brought in a lot of...
So that's what... Mm-hmm. Yeah, Grandpa, I remember him picking me up. Roddy,
was he pissed?
Roddy helped him get me out of there.
Who's Roddy? And
I guess I don't know if they gave him a hard time or whatever, but Roddy's he was a businessman with my father.
Yeah.
But we went out and all I had left was a sport jacket.
Yeah.
And I came out and I'm with bare shirt. It's winter time and all I had was a sports jacket and some shorts on or something. But
yeah.
So we went to the first wrestler place, and he bought me a cowboy hat and a sheriff bag, and I don't know a shirt, so I could wear a shirt. But
to get back on the plane to go back home.
And we flew into Houston, and that was another one. I think I was Mickey'd again. I drank a vodka, or not a vodka, a tequila sunrise. But I slept on the plane. But
why do you think that you kept getting in these positions where you were getting Mickey'd?
I don't know if it's just the wrong mix. I don't, Do
you think maybe you're allergic to alcohol?
Yeah, I don't drink that much hard stuff anymore. But I'll nip it every once in a while. But you got to be careful.
Yeah, I noticed.
I stick to. Well, This is unique. I had for today. Is this half up or half full?
That's actually a lot of lime juice and sparkling water.
I used to say, is this half up or half full? But I say, well, drink it down and fill it back up. And I don't say that.
Hey, we have that in common. Yeah, we know that's part of why I'm not drinking anymore, because I would just down them, Uncle Carl. It was to the point where I was people would be like, oh my God, did you just drink my drink? They would be looking at me like, oh my God.
He would drink something like that, and one, he would just open up his gullet and it would all go down. And then I'd turn my back and my drink would be missing too.
I know.
And then all of a sudden he's had you don't even know how much he's had.
Oh yeah, and I lose count.
And he's filling it back up. Yeah.
You're counting it.
So maybe me and you have that in common.
You never drank at the tavern.
Well, I never drank.
Actually, he did.
Well, I didn't. When I was driving, I didn't drink.
With gin
Yeah, we definitely drank at the tavern. You know what happened? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Me and her were not supposed to drink on the job.
We would take little shots, though.
They had the $3.
We'd mix it with the Red Bull, and then we'd just shoot it down. And sometimes people would buy us shots, and we would just take it if Steve wasn't looking.
Yeah, we were bad.
Yeah.
We could have gotten fired, Carl.
Yeah.
We would even do the Red Bull, pour some out, and then put Jaeger in it, and we'd call it a Roadrunner.
I apologize to Steve. I came late to work one time. I was drinking a couple of glasses of wine, and I got off schedule, and he didn't want me behind the counter, and he said, "You're fired." And so I luckily I had $40. I could take a taxi home, but he had a hot date with his wife, and he had to stay at the tavern, and I felt so bad. I apologize, Steve, wherever and Lynn.
Yeah. Well, they
live, laugh, and love.
They forgive you. You got to live,
laugh, and love.
Yeah,
cheers to that.
Cheers to that, Carl. Hey, Carl, thank you for being vulnerable and opening up. Cheers. And I just really have to commend you on always entertaining us over the years and taking care of us.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate the little things. I'd be working at the tavern, whether you're putting 12 to 18-hour days in, and I'm at the door, and you would sneak in with a real good sandwich you got at someone's shop, and I'd be like, oh, this is real good, good balance,
Yeah. Yeah.
Or delicious, tasty flavors. Or
what was your go-to meal? What was your go-to order at the BBT?
Yeah, the Bloomfield Bridge Tavern. What was your favorite meal?
I went from the white platter to the red platter to the red platter to the white platter.
Mm-hmm. And let's explain what that was.
Yes,
so we have halushki, klushki, pierogies,
and that's the white platter. So it's all carbs.
Oh yeah,
kielbasa.
So then the red platter had the meat.
You add the meat, yeah.
Yeah. So the red platter was a traditional. It used to be called just the Polish platter, and then we had a lot of like vegetarians starting to come. And I wasn't a big kielbasi fan. I know you two love a big fat kielbasi.
I loved the kielbasi there, and you dip it in the mustard.
Oh my god, you would get the spicy brown mustard and
I'd give you a loathing silky orgasm. Huh?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm just.
I think this is what I love about you, Carl. I
love
get
your
my
hair, Kelly. Your loathing hair. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You know that this
loathing
is
hair. That's a compliment.
New.
Yeah, it is new.
She got some new hair. She wanted to look pretty for Uncle Carl.
It's from your husband. The thing I shouldn't have did, I went to the jukebox with Geraldine, and you shouldn't just want to talk.
Geraldine? What a name.
I should have gave her a kiss at the jukebox, but I didn't.
Oh, you should have.
You should have given her a little Frenchie. Or would you do a pet?
She's like 60-40 or whatever, but it was
60-40? What's that? Is she like 60%
No,
straight,
I'm just
40% lesbian?
No, she 60 and 40 is 100. We're like 60 and 60 is 120.
Yeah.
We were just doing brain teasers, trying to keep our heads about it, ourselves. But
that's kind of cute. So you guys are intellectually sparring or flirting.
Yeah, she brought in a band, but it didn't draw too many people. But
yeah,
after that she did. But
yeah,
she went her way and I went my way.
Oh my God, Carl! Oh shit!
Hey,
this is his manager, Tim. Hey,
am I getting paid for this?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm so sorry. It was so funny. Like, Carl asked me, he's like, am I getting paid for this?
Of course you're getting paid, Carl.
So, here you go.
I know what that is.
Yeah. So, this is your check for doing the show. Wasn't that funny? He's so, like, he came on and he was like, I'm not going to do it unless I get paid.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on Mocktails Are Messy. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
It's always good to hear your voice, and I enjoy your company.
Yes.
I hope we can maybe go to dinner or something.
Oh, for sure.
That would be great, yeah.
For sure.
Or a fast lunch or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you guys have a great day. And
thank you so
much.
much.
Live, laugh, and love it.
And then we'll make sure that we
love
take you out to
dinner. We love you too, Uncle Carl.
Yes.
Have a great day, Carl.
Thank you too, Kelly.
Good to see you.
Mary Ellen.
Yes, love it.
Mary Ellen. You know where she is. So, Uncle Carl, he is such a hilarious guest. He is just like one of my favorite people with his one-liners. I mean, I'm sorry if it was a little too inappropriate for you, Kel. I know that, like...
No, I don't mind it. Nothing's really... No verbal things are really that too inappropriate for me. I just know it could be a little much for others.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, so basically, he's our special uncle. He's so, like, he went out west whenever he graduated college. He had, like, a chemical imbalance, taking some kind of peyote mushroom. And during that time from 25 to 30 for males, they are more susceptible to this.
Susceptible.
Thank you. Oh my God. I cannot speak. What's up with me? Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I feel like I didn't learn vocabulary in school.
Yeah.
He had a chemical imbalance whenever he was, in his mid-20s. And that's a time frame that you are more
susceptible, yeah.
Susceptible.
So just to raise awareness that type of thing can happen to somebody.
Right.
He has gone on to live a great life.
Yes, absolutely. He's been a loving uncle, brother, son throughout our family. He really was amazing with my grandma whenever she was getting older. Uncle Carl, we love you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Carlito, I know that you got your check. He was so funny. He was like, what? Remember?
He wasn't about to come on here unless he got paid.
It was like,
and he said we have to take him out to dinner still too, which is fine. We want to do that. But he's our first paid guest for the podcast.
I mean, in some ways, like, he deserves it. He's amazing. Like, he would do anything for you. Like, he treats you like as if like part of our family.
I know.
Yeah. And that's what I love about our families. Like, I think you being like working at the bar and like, being close to my mom and my brother, it's like you kind of feel like you're just like a part of like a sister to our family.
I know. I mean, a sister from West Virginia, but yeah.
It's all relative in West Virginia. Oh my God. I have to tell you about this hot date yesterday. It's been a while since I had a girl.
Okay.
Like, she was like really sweet, very like kind, whatever. But she knew that I'm bi and she's straight. But I think the funny thing is my sister-in-law nailed it. She's like, you need to find a girl that's a little bit more of a tomboy, like a pretty tomboy, like feminine looking tomboy.
I see that. Yeah.
That kind of she nailed it because that was like such a good vibe. The only thing is when we were getting, back to her place, getting like, I won't go on too many details, but like she looked amazing. She looked super, and she even said to me I could talk about this because she's like, oh, I don't have any social media. I don't do that shit. Like, you can talk about it, but just don't use my name.
Okay.
But like, who's going to find her if she doesn't have social media? And she also was like, hey, it was a great time. Like, you can be open. I'm an open book. Like, she's kind of acted like super bro.
Okay.
But like really like cute, like soccer player, marathon runner.
Okay.
And to make a long story short, when we were getting downtown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the details.
She was like, she looked great, but she was like kind of like, oh my God, like your body. Like, it was almost like she was like, I'm like a little like insecure, like your body. And I was like, well, I'm not drinking anymore. And, like, I'm like, all my life revolves around like potting, real estate, and Orange Series. So like, I only have like those 3 hobbies, and I'm just like work out. And she was just like, kind of like, can you flex? I'm like, this is kind of hot. Like, I'm turned on by it. But then I also felt like, I was like, you look so sexy. Like, but then she was like, not as fit as you.
Yeah.
So I almost felt like it was like a turn on to be like looked at and gawked at, like as like, like with the like, the flex and all that.
Okay.
But I also felt like, are you a little insecure that it's making me feel like weird?
Yeah, I can get that. I don't think I'd want to be asked to like flex right before someone's about to go downtown. But
I think she liked the visual
do, like, on the date. Like, oh, look at these muscles, flex for me. Do that like during the date, but then like once you're in the bedroom, that might be a little weird. That's just how I feel. But I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has their kinks, right?
What are your kinks?
I'm not kinky, and if I was, I wouldn't care.
I'm thinking, what are my kinks? Yeah, I do like have to say, like, this is gonna kind of be like weird, but like if you're like really like into somebody, like I don't mind like spit.
Okay, and that just reminds me of like this hawk tua thing, the hawk tua thing. Do you want the?
Ew, that sounds gross. Or not that.
Or do you just want the tua?
Oh, so this is a thing, like tua, like
hawk tua, like you're freaking hawking up a loogie and spitting it on.
Ew.
It's like I think that like maybe just the tua,
like just the.
Yes.
Okay, so when you said tua, yeah, you're right. That is actually how it would be like written out.
Yeah. No, but I just
I like
this
the
hawk tua
I don't want
thing that is going viral. I'm like, wait, what?
Is it referring to like kinks, or is it?
It was like I can't believe you haven't seen the Hawk to a Girl interview.
Well, you're much
She's
more
like,
Gen Z than me.
I think it was like, how do you keep your man happy? And she goes, you just gotta hawk to like spit on that thing or something like that. I didn't get the quote completely right, but like now this hawk to a thing is like a big thing. And I was just thinking about it like,
okay,
why the hawk part? Maybe just the tua.
Yeah,
but
for sure. I like the tua.
Yeah.
Well, you always were an overanalyzer. That's what's great about you being a journalist now, as a podder, a podster.
Now we do have a billboard up in Bloomfield. Right, in Pittsburgh.
Yes, we
and
do.
We have gotten some questions submitted.
Yeah.
So I am excited to answer those today.
Good call, Kelly. I was thinking, I knew that we had something on the agenda.
When you get a chance, read off our phone number again.
So yes.
Text us.
But I just got one recently, and we can wait for that. But it was like, look at that message.
My kitchen is a big mess.
I think they were like, "What's your messy story?" So we have this little like kiosk in
that had to have
the
been
city.
Like an older person.
Yeah, it's like I don't think they knew messy stories or like drunken messy, but I think you would like insinuate messy stories with like when you see mocktails or messy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Silly.
Okay, so he gave us his name. He said that he's fine putting it out there. Roberto.
Okay.
Roberta said, "Hi there. Saw your sign to send you a messy story for the podcast. Boy, do I have one for you." So I had some suspicion about my girlfriend was cheating on me, and one of my best friends. We were out at the bar, and my girl said she had to go back and let her roommate back into her apartment. She never texted me that she got back, so I honestly got worried. Went straight to her house. Door was open. So I went in like I would usually do. I called her. No one answered, but I heard something upstairs. So I go into the bathroom because the light was on in there. My girlfriend and my best friend are doing cocaine off the sink. What should I do? Cut both of them off? Help.
Okay, I feel like it's lacking a little bit of context. I don't know if we have an update or not, but I would say it sounds like Roberto is not comfortable with like the cocaine thing.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends. Are you comfortable with it or not? If you're not comfortable with it, then I mean, me personally, like I wouldn't be comfortable with it either.
No.
So I would probably cut them both off. That would be what I would do.
Yeah, like I just think like nowadays, like with fentanyl and like even cocaine, like I never did it until like one time at 32. I was like, oh, I'll just do it because I felt like I trusted the person, and they just like in some weird way they like swooned me. Like they had this like dress on and they looked like it was just kind of the vibe, in like the penthouse. It felt like, oh, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with them one time in my life. Didn't really like it. And so I think to myself, after learning about all these people dying from like being like tricked or given like the wrong thing, I think that you got to just kind of cut them both out.
It really depends on your standards. Like I would just cut them out.
Yeah.
Because I don't fuck with that shit. But,
I know.
And then also it's like, are they being deceitful by doing this together? So it's like a double.
Yeah,
whammy.
that's
it's
weird.
Like they're being deceitful and hiding it, and they're also really doing something that you don't approve of. And what else are they doing alone together? Would be my next thought. So
I do feel like in some weird way, like we have people that probably listen and they are regular, users, but I think just say like if you weren't judgmental about like people just want to get their like rocks off and they want to do coke.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But to not tell your partner, be dating somebody and then they're doing it with your best friend, it feels like there was maybe
the best friend part. Like you and I could be taking a shot in the kitchen, and if my husband walked in, like a shot of alcohol.
Right.
Not a red flag.
No.
Right?
No.
But if it's like, yeah, that sounded a little more deceitful.
Well, and on top of it, like we're not going to go hide from your husband and be like, oh, we're going to do a shot.
Well, if we were really drunk, we might be running away, giggling, like, oh my God, we're so fucked up. Let's do another shot. Nobody has to know. Like,
oh my
I'm just
God.
saying, like, that could be a little different, but
Yeah.
like, I'm just saying, like, there's different vibes to things. And I guess it's all about what are you okay with? If you don't approve of cocaine, like, I don't hang out with people who do drugs.
Right.
Personally, like, that would just be enough for me to say I'm out.
I think it's not as easy being like sober, but I also feel like maybe I should be a little bit more mindful of those people that I'm starting to like, you know, filter out, not because I think of them as bad people, or just I think it's
10
just
years
like,
ago I didn't care. I'd be friends with anybody, but I just
you're
don't
a
have
mom.
time for that shit now.
You're a mom.
Even if I wasn't a mom, that doesn't fit in my box anymore.
That's good. I like that about you. I want to be like that person, but then I also feel like I don't want to like cut somebody out because they like to have fun.
I mean, I would. It's all relative. Like, we could go on a hike and have fun, or have some like margaritas and have fun. But if I'm trying to hang out with you and you're snorting cocaine off the sink, that's just like not my vibe. That's all.
Well, let me ask you this. I have a friend invited me out, and they were having espresso martinis, and they were really cute, and it was fun. And then all of a sudden, they're like wanting to do a line, and I was kind of caught off guard because I'm like, whoa, what? But then it's not like it was that shocking. I feel like so many people do it that I was like, yeah, this is a pivotal moment, because I really love the energy and I love the camaraderie and like them like being like super inclusive with me, like just being new to the city again. But then I also thought to myself, I'm like, well, I could say like, because they even asked, they were like, hey, is this like a trigger because you're sober? And I was like, no, whatever. Like, you know, like I just feel like I want to be like much more like chill and relaxed about it, because like who are we to judge? But then it is kind of
no judgment.
Trashy.
No judgment.
Is it trashy?
I mean, I don't really care if it is or not. It's like, I'm really not judging. I'm just not going to hang out with you. That's
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. I like the way, like, I mean, I guess I don't know why I put myself in those situations, because I'm like, I'm caught off guard and I like them.
No, listen, I actually used to hang out with a girl that like murdered her boyfriend.
In college?
So it was someone I worked with in the restaurant industry. And
at that place, the big corporate place.
Yeah. And
oh my gosh.
She shot her boyfriend in the back of the head with a pink revolver, and she was waiting to go on trial and somehow was able to work still. So she was working. She was a coworker, and there was multiple times I was alone with her. Like, she could have just killed me, I guess, but I just like didn't care because I had fun with her. She was funny. She was inappropriate.
See? That's
I didn't give a shit. I had no standards back then. And actually,
you knew?
I still love her. Oh yeah, I found out actually after we were friends.
Right.
And it was like, oh fuck, like, do I continue this friendship? And I'm like, fuck it. She's a fun time. We would drink together. Like,
shit.
Let's just be friends still. She was honestly a sweetheart, but not really, you know. So I'm just saying, like, I haven't always been this way.
Good point.
And like, when you work in the restaurant industry, you know, no offense, a lot of people are doing cocaine like all the time, constantly.
Yes.
Just to stay on their A game, because you're busy as hell when you're a server.
Yes.
I mean, so I did find it as a normal thing then. I just don't
anymore.
I don't find it normal anymore. Not at my age, I guess. And
well, you're
not
like,
in my stage of life.
Each chapter that you go through, you're like, I think I've looked at you as like elevating. You're just like elevating and filtering.
Yeah.
And not to like down or diss anybody
No.
that's like still like practicing like
Who knows?
drug use.
They might think they're elevating.
Right.
You know, it's like it really is all relative.
Exactly. And you know what? I will say this. I was really into somebody, and they had like, you know, great personality, super great vibe. It was an amazing hookup. But there was always one thing that kind of kept me from getting like fully into them was even though they're like successful and they have like all this stuff going on in their life, they actively, when they go out, they do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, that was a barrier for me, but it was also kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to put them in a category, but I do think I like what you're saying. Like, you know, we have a certain standard as we get like, you know, busier with the podcast or busier with real estate or busier with your family. It's like we have limited amount of time. Why put yourself in a risk or liability of somebody that is using that shit that is not really legal? Or they were doing like G. I don't know if you've ever heard of G.
I've heard of it. I don't really know what it is.
It's like a big thing in the gay community. I don't know, because it's like apparently like you're not gonna get like, you're not gonna gain weight or whatever from like, you know, like drinking like makes you gain weight or whatever, or like even like pot, like you're like get the munchies. I guess like the G like gives you that same effect, but like you're like staying lean and like ripped. So, but anyways, I think you're right. You know, I felt that like there was like that barrier of like completely getting really close because I wasn't practicing that kind of like recreational drug use.
I mean, you really do start becoming like who your friends are. So I'm really mindful of who I put in front of me now.
Yes.
I mean, I probably never even would have touched like marijuana back in the day if my friends weren't doing it. And I know people are like, oh my gosh, that's not a drug. And like, I really don't think it is either.
It's
but 10 years
medicinal.
ago, 10, 15 years ago, it was a big deal to smoke weed. Like, it's different these days, but like, that was like a big deal. I was a goody two shoe, like little runner girl.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And I kind of started going down a path where I'm like, you know, smoking weed, partying, because that's who I was surrounded with. And I just.
Well, they did say the study is like you're the median income of your friends. So like you want to have certain standards for yourself.
Exactly.
And you want to hit certain points in like, you know, we only have one life to live.
Right. We have our messy past, and hey, we like to talk about it.
I know, yeah.
Listen, I've been in trouble with the law too many times.
Me
I
too.
can't be doing that now.
I know. We went from like really bad to like very like goody two shoes overnight.
Yeah.
Or maybe not overnight. Like
we're definitely not goody two shoes.
No, we like to be inappropriate.
Yeah. Did we have any other questions that people texted in?
Somebody said my kitchen is a mess. Like we said, submit your messy stories.
Yeah. My kitchen is a mess with a bunch of explanation points. Okay, girl.
Yeah.
Clean it up then.
Remember you're back in high school, I pretended to text your brother-in-law, your husband's brother.
Oh my God. So disclaimer, you like to fuck with people.
Oh yeah.
You like to do pranks. So
I'm a prankster.
This is a prank.
Yes. One of my best friends from high school, we pranked him with, you were over the house, you and Lauren, and we had like that new, like it was like an app on your iPod Touch, like where you could like text somebody from another number, and it was relatively new, so nobody knew about it. And so we texted my best friend and we were like, hey, this is, we'll say Jessica, just for privacy reasons, but Jessica was this cute girl in his neighborhood, and we were like, we're in the hot tub, me and Carrie are in the hot tub, you should come over, we're in our bikinis. And he's like literally buying it. He's like eating it up. He's like, oh, that's really cool, like that sounds fun.
It's like a dream come true for him.
Yeah, and he's like relatively like a cute guy, but then I was like, wonder why he was so like desperate to get over there, because
he was excited.
He like ran. He was like, wait, what time? How long are you guys going to be there? So then we're like, we walked inside. We're just towing off. We're going to like, you know, have a little drink. You should come over and let's play strip poker.
It's probably the first invite that he ever got, like, you know, like that. He was like a goody two shoes, like straight A student.
Oh yeah. Like even though he was like a little stud, he still was kind of nerdy.
Yes.
Yeah, like totally like nerdy, like not like really having much game.
Right.
So
exactly.
like when this like hot kind of like, you know, cheerleader type of girl and her other girlfriend were in the hot tub in their bikinis. I mean, he should have said like, I need to see photos.
Yeah. So they weren't really in the hot tub
So
with
I
their
was
bikinis.
acting as the cute girl, the cheerleader girl from this fake number app on the iPod Touch. That's like dating us to back before like iPhones were a thing.
Yeah.
And so I texted the nerdy friend of mine and he ran over there. He was like, "Where are you? You're not in the hot tub." And they said, "Silly, we're inside. We're just changing, but you should come in." So he opens up the back door. The back door happened to be open, and it was just like in his neighborhood. He thought that he was going to see this Jessica girl and Carrie. And he opens up, and the family is in there watching TV, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" And then how embarrassing. Like, I feel a little bad, but like, it's a prank. Come on. Like, but then they were creeped out by it. So they called the cops. All of them were like, "Look at this." Like, he's like, "I swear they told me to come over." But it also made made their daughter look bad because they're like, "Wait, was this you, Jessica?"
Yeah.
But she's like, "No, it's not me. That's not my number."
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know why he didn't make the connection because he actually had her number since they were neighbors.
Oh my gosh.
But he was just so excited.
You know, wishful thinking.
Yeah, you know those guys of that age. But
Oh yeah.
make a long story short, they called the cops. They were like, "Sorry, we can't do anything because like it's a Google voice number and they didn't do anything illegal." But yeah, lesson learned, you know, make sure you call the person or make sure you like see receipts. Like, can I see you in the hot tub? Can I see a photo, a selfie?
Yes, always. There's a lot of people posing now trying to like scam you or so they can get your money or trick you. So
Yes.
let's not fall for those tricks.
Yes, and maybe I should grow up.
Yeah, well, I think that you should not grow up.
Oh, good.
So cheers for never growing up. Live, laugh, love, as Uncle Carl would say.
I know it sounds fucking weird, but live, laugh, and love.
Thank you, Uncle Carl.
Thank you for listening to Mocktails Are Messy.
This is Ryan Frankowski.
And Kelly Nizgorski.
Cheers.
To Mocktails.
That's right. Her first mocktail on the pod.
First or second. I don't know. We're doing the mocktail thing. All about it. Okay.
Thank you.